Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis. And with me is Matthew. Are you blanketing?
I'm mourning.
Morning? Oh, I thought it was a full blanket moment. Remember Audrey, season 17, when she was on the chopping block and going home and she just went full blanket mode like throughout the house? But definitely morning. I should have worn a veil.
Yeah, I couldn't find a veil. So I grabbed a blanket and it was the next best thing. I feel so weird right now because I just tweeted actually the same thing. It's like normally I never root for like the alpha bros, like comp beasts, but like losing like the two biggest alpha bro comp beasts was like quite upsetting. It's like those were like two of the only rootable people.
I did. I cried.
There was such like a wide assortment of emotions this episode because I was so happy when Ed went home. It's like, yes, like here's like the alpha bro I want to leave. And then like the two bros that I want to stay end up both going, I was shocked that they actually both went home. I mean, I was shocked that either of them went home because I had no idea there was going to be two eliminations at the end. So I assumed Nurys was screwed.
I automatically was like, but when I messaged you and I was just like, whatever, let's talk about this stupid episode. It was right when, after the safety chain, and I knew that I thought it was just going to be Nurys going home. That's kind of what I assumed was going to happen. And I was like, that's bullshit. I'm happy that those two can come back and fight another day. But like, man, that sucks. But like, then the outcome of this, like, oh my god, I was just crying because like hearing a little bit more about her doing it for her family, and like we never really hear Nurys talk that much about stuff, like things that mean a lot to her. She doesn't talk about how much her family means to her. I never knew that she's the sole provider for most of her family. And like, that must have really stung hearing that Olivia is saying like, you're broke. And it's like, well, you know what? I might be broke because I'm actually supporting two other people. And so I don't have frivolous amounts of money to be able to go do things. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it was just very touching because as much as Nurys is like, she pops off and she has anger issues, like you could tell that she really does have like a heart of gold and that she's so lovely. I love Nurys so much.
I mean, Nurys is the only person left on the cast that I think I like. I mean, there's a few people I'm like okay with, but
who are you okay with?
I mean, I honestly don't like mind Michele. I think like I hate Michelle's alliance, but yeah, I actually think Michele
like the most next. Yeah.
Yeah, like Michele, like Moriah, like I don't have anything against her. She's kind of gone back to being like a boring side character. There's some people, like a lot of people I really don't like, but Nurys is the only one that I'm like actively cheering for at this point. But yeah, I honestly thought I thought the whole time, like, all right, Nurys is going to go home here. I thought we were getting set up for the Nurys elimination. And then when he announced that there was two people going home, I thought for sure Nurys is out. But even before that, I was thinking the only way Nurys is going to be safe, and this is, I guess, on me for underestimating her, but I thought like maybe Horacio would like let Nurys win and he would like fall on the sword.
Well, I also thought she might do the same thing for him, right? Thinking that like he has a better chance at winning. But I love the fact that she's like, you know what? Like, I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing this for my family. Like, I have to stay. Like, I have to stay in this game if I can. Mm-hmm. It's surprising that a tangram that's made for like 4-year-olds is what stumped Kyland and Horacio. I think that's quite shocking. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so MV here is saying like we want a messy drama and we're getting it. I can't be mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I thought this was an excellent episode. Like I went through all the feels this episode. I was mad, I was happy, I was mad, I was sad, I was like indifferent, I was pissed. Like I went through all the emotions this episode. And so I definitely think it was probably a top episode, even though I didn't like the outcome.
Yeah, I just like the thing that I'm more mad about is like because the format was like so poor in the middle stage that it's like resulted in them like having to cut people like crazy. And thus like
But
leading
what happens though
to.
if they had won all of them? You know what I mean? It would just be like the bottom 2 people go home and then 2 people for every elimination. Like, how would they do that? How would they have fixed it?
I'm guessing like if you mean if all the like
If they had kept
contenders
all their
won?
money, basically, they beat all the champs.
Yeah, I'm guessing they would have just done like all like three people would go home every episode. So last week, like Zara and Kyland would have went home, along with Ravyn, and then they would just do 3-3-3. And then I wonder next week if they'll do 3 again or if it'll just go back to
I
2.
think it'll be 3 again because after that it's the final.
How many people are left in the game right now? 10?
Ooh.
10, yeah. Yeah, they said 13 at the beginning, so 10 people left. They could do 2 because then it would be 8 and 8, right? Am I counting that right? Is it 10 people left?
Chad, can you help us? Is it 10 people left?
Or maybe it's 13. I could be wrong.
Actually, I can
It feels like
by
there's
the chain. Hold on. What's the chain all about? The chain has J 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And Ed. So there was 13 at the start of the episode and 3 people went home. So
yeah,
10.
so they could just do. They probably will just do 2 out next week. Otherwise, the final would be 7
11.
people. Who's the? Oh, is Nurys the 11th?
No, at least would have been the 10th.
Yeah, I think there's 10 people left.
Unless we're like completely forgetting about somebody, but I think I said everybody from the safety chain. So left in the game is Michele, Olivia, Moriah, James, Emmanuel, Berna, Colleen, Corey, Nurys, and Jay. 10.
Yeah.
Yes, Lena's here saying 10.
Yeah. So that means next week we'll lose. Okay. Yeah, we'll lose either 2 or 3, and then the final would be either 7 or 8 people.
Oh my God, how gross. This is so gross, Bloody Money. We lost Ravyn, Zara, Ed, Horacio, and Kyland. Like, it's just so annoying because those were all like I don't care about Ed, but like the top performers, the people that I wanted to stay the most in the game are all gone.
Well, we did lose like the top, like a lot of the top performers for sure. Now it's like interesting because like I have no idea who's gonna win.
Yeah, so okay, let me think. We don't know what the type of challenge it's going to be. I don't think. Oh, we saw it like on the barrel type thing that they had to stay on.
Yeah, they said TJ said it's first person to fall off is just out.
I think that was Moriah that fell. No,
but I don't know if that was the first person. I feel like they wouldn't show the first person.
Oh, maybe it was like a second heat or another heat. But
like,
she definitely fell.
Yeah, I could see like James being the first one out because he's bigger. Corey's obviously bigger. Like the guys,
that would be a dream if Corey went out.
The big guys, like I actually liked this daily. Like the daily was kind of like boring, but I liked how it favored the lighter people, which a lot of the times that's not the case. So I liked how it was different. Where like last week's daily, kind of like a woman was basically auto coming in last, and then this week it was basically automatically a dude was coming in last. So I did like that.
Well, also like with the dudes, they're going to be a little bit more like fast on the like they're going to hold it down for too long. You know what I mean? Because they're just like chasing the adrenaline or whatever. You know, it's just like women are going to be more likely to be more cautious. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's talk about the actual episode. I said somebody had sent me what had happened with Kyland kind of punking them. But before the punking happens, we see that Olivia is talking to the girls and being like, you know, we need to stick together. Like, we don't want the girls to go home. And I was like, okay, that's a good thought, Olivia. And then we see Nurys and Jay talking. And Jay's like, well, like, it had to be you that choose. Like, you had to choose. And I'm like, he's trying to make it seem like he put her in a good position when he really, in my opinion anyways, he really wanted to make her suffer. And I just wish he would own it a little bit more instead of pretending like he actually likes the girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jay and Olivia are like there's like people in the house that are playing like a weak, like pathetic game. Like James, Ed was. But like people like Olivia and Jay are just like the worst because like they don't own anything. And they're just like they're kind of just nasty. Like Jay was being completely nasty last week. And then this week he's like playing the victim, like fake crying or in tears about how he would always like stand up for Nurys and do anything for Nurys. Like, dude, she's gonna see what you did last week.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's pretty insufferable. Like Jay and Olivia, just like scared, weak, pathetic.
Disloyal and loyal, like when it suits them. Disloyal when it suits. They just are just people I don't like. You know, I don't mind people stabbing you in the back. You know, it is a game. I get that. But when you make certain promises to people that go outside of the game, I'm sorry, it actually becomes not just a game. It becomes something different. And like I remember I played a game with somebody who I was really good friends with, and they were swearing on their family about things and like personal things about that I'd experienced with them and their family. And like they were like, I would never do this to you, like, you know, my niece. Like it was just, they went so deep with how much I'm supposed to trust them. And then they were gonna stab me in the back, and I was like, I can't respect that. Like, I just can't. Like, do whatever you want, but like that says to me about your character, and I can't be friends with you after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wasn't, you know. But it's like if you're gonna bring in your personal relationships with people, then it's not just a game anymore. And that's why I kind of, it just bothers me with how Jay plays, because he's like, he'll say in one handle where it's just a game, and then another hand, and he'll be like, well, like, you've known me for so long, it's a 5-year friendship, and like, how dare you do that? You put me on the line. It's like, choose the lane. Like, are we just like being cold-hearted game players? Our friendship doesn't come into the equation here, or is it our friendship? And we're trying to play together, and we're trying to do the best and look out for both of each other. The fact that they both, Olivia and him, just go back and forth with like just game and friendship, it makes me sick, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they're gonna get what's coming to them for sure. They're like Jay in particular, he's like never going to be trusted again. Even the people in his alliance now, like they're going to watch this back, and they're not going to want to stick up for him moving forward. Whoever does get the call back, like Olivia, like there's no way like Nurys is going to come back and like accept like their apology and like be like fully trusting of them.
She showed her true colors, right? Like she's been told by her brother that Olivia is not for you. She's not your friend. She's a backstab, whatever. And Nurys chose to see the best in her because she hasn't witnessed that in person. I just don't think that she will ever allow Olivia an opportunity to get close enough to be able to stab her in the back like this. Like,
yeah, like they're gonna give like some shitty apology at the reunion. Olivia and Jay,
be like, yeah, we're cool. I'm just never gonna be friends with you again.
Yeah, and then next season, like everyone is gonna be like, all right, like we're not like fucking with Olivia. We're not fucking with like Jay. No vet is working with Jay. So I'm just curious, like, how is Jay gonna react next season when like he faces like all the wrath of like everyone? Is he gonna be the same like arrogant like little prick, or is Jay going to?
He's gonna go like whining mode.
Yeah,
like, he's also really whiny.
Yeah.
It's like when he has power is when he's like annoying and snaky and like conniving, and
he'll never have power again. Like he could win a daily, but like he will never have pull in the game again because he'll never be on a cast that's like this again. So I truly think like Jay, if Jay does 5 more seasons, like I don't think he could make a final in any of the 5.
You got it right. Well, Nurys and Horacio is behind.
I was trying to find one of just Nurys, but I couldn't find anything from this season. And I was like pressed for time. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just use the Horacio and Nurys one.
Sorry, I could have made it long. I forgot that you got to take some time.
No, normally I find one so quick, but I just like for whatever reason couldn't find one like directly of Nurys from this season. That was like one I wanted to use. So I just like went back to the well.
All good, though. We appreciate the effort. We look forward to all the images that you bring forward. They're always reminiscent and perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So Kylan, he kind of pulls a little bit of a prank. He makes it seem as though he is the only one that was coming back. And you see Olivia seemingly being normal and is like, oh my God, like Horacio, like he told Nurys to save me, and like now he went home, and like the fact that like I didn't trust him this whole season, and now he, you know, like he saved me here, like, and she's like, crying about it. What happened to her?
I think it was crocodile tears.
You do?
Yeah. Or like maybe she like did feel like emotional because like she realized like, oh, maybe I fucked up. But like obviously that didn't last long because the next day she was willing to essentially be responsible for him and Kylan and Nurys all being put into the elimination. Like she knew what she was doing. So I think like, yeah, she was sad, maybe, but I think more crocodile tears, to be honest.
I was buying it to a certain extent, but maybe depends on like the timing of these confessionals, because I know that she cried in the moment, but like if the confessionals were taken after this whole series, like maybe she is saying this to like try to keep her friendship with Horacio and Nurys. Okay,
Yeah.
Jessica, please, no tears from Olivia.
Yeah, I don't buy a thing from Olivia at this point. Like I just like I can't trust a word that comes out of her mouth. I don't trust her actions. It's like she showed her true colors, and like I get it. Like Horacio is not someone you want to go to a final with, but when you're literally like labeled as a ride or die with someone, like some like rules of the game have to go out the window. Like imagine imagine like bananas just like actively going against Nani. Like everyone would freak out, and like bananas would get so much shit for it. And like I don't even think he would do that. Obviously, Nani is not like a threat to win, but like even like reverse, like imagine Nani like actively going at bananas. Like it would
No.
never happen.
No, even if Banana was the one that's going to beat her in the end in a final, she's not going to go after Bananas. Like, who are the other ride or dies? I mean, it's clear that they're not ride or dies then, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
she's
Leroy and Nani too. Like Leroy is never gonna be the person to send Nani into elimination or send her home. CT and Kara, like you're not gonna see that happen. It's like, yeah, these people are threatening, but it's like there are exceptions to the rule. And like Olivia is someone that's gonna play this game if she wants to, like 5+ times. So like, you know what? Like if you have to save Horacio once, like odds are he's still gonna find himself in some trouble a little bit later. You
absolutely.
just gotta suck it up there.
Yeah, I mean, it from how it goes down, like I could easily see her just being like, I know I made you guys that promise. I just had to do what I could to save my friends. Like they just
Yeah.
had saved me. He's my ride or die. I'm sorry that I lied to you guys, but you understand why. These guys are my ride or dies. And then she would have done, like, she would have lied to people, but people would still have respected her for why she did it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and she also could have still like she could have told Nurys, Horacio, and Kylan like, "Hey, I'm gonna save you guys, but you have to save Moriah afterwards." And then it's like, all right, like, are Jay and Michele really gonna be that upset if Colleen, Berna, and Corey Lay end up in an elimination? Like, who cares? Like, I'm sure Michele would love if Berna went home and it had nothing to do with her. Um, so yeah, it's like, or like, even if they say Berna and it's Corey, Emmanuel, and Colleen, like something like that, it's like, whatever. Like, send Emmanuel and Corey out, one of them out, and they're threatening players too. So,
Yeah, also, and I'm thinking now with Olivia, I think now that she did that whole thing because I think she knew that she was going to look shitty, and she was trying to, make herself look better. And then when she realized that he was still in the game, she had to go back on it and be like, oh, wait, no, I actually can't run a final against him. I have to make sure he goes home or do my best to screw him over.
Yeah. I personally just feel like Olivia was probably plotting to get Horacio out the whole season. And she didn't realize how much of it would make air. And obviously not a lot of it did make air, but from what people are saying on social media, she was doing that actively. And if that's the case, I feel like now she's crying because she feels like she's gonna be the villain. And I actually don't think she was the villain until tonight's episode, but she didn't know that. So I think the tears were more because hey, I don't know if I'm the villain or not. So if I start crying and showing how much I love Horacio and Nurys, then
it
maybe
won't
people
make
will
any
like me.
sense. You'll understand my plight from before, and now I'm absolving my wrongdoings by these tears.
Yeah.
Do you think that Olivia's going to join the Vacation Alliance? Well, she might not be friends with Anissa because wasn't she the one that spilled the beans that Olivia was bad mouthing Nurys?
I'm not sure. I heard that might be. I heard a rumor Anissa was somewhat involved, but
so how it kind of happened is because Zara, when they came to England, was it for the reunion of last season? I think so. And Zara knew what's his name? Oh my God, Jordan from World Championships. And so she took them out on the town. So it was Jordan, Anissa, and was it Anissa? Jordan, Anissa, and Olivia. Or am I messing up the people? Olivia was there for sure. Jordan was there for sure. I guess it was the reunion for, Ride or Dies. Those three Zara took out. And so I think that that's how Olivia and Anissa became friends or whatever. And that also makes sense for Olivia maybe talking, bad-mouthing Anissa, because they did make a connection of some sort where they hung out, and then they probably started talking more when they're both back in the States. So do you think that Olivia will put, say bygones are bygones and water under the bridge and be nice to Anissa again if Anissa was the one that told Nurys' brother?
I would be absolutely shocked if Olivia did not join the Vacation Alliance. I think Olivia and Michele will 100% suck up to the Vacation Alliance, and they will be expendable pieces of it. But it would honestly shock me if Olivia did not at least try to be a part of it. Also depends if Nurys is there. I feel like Olivia, because of Michele, probably has more of an in with them than Nurys would. So I would assume Nurys will be on season 40. I would almost guarantee it, actually. But
after this episode, she's a guarantee. She's a lock, I would say.
Yeah, unless for whatever reason she doesn't want to do it, which I'd be shocked about as well. But I don't know. I'm a little worried for Nurys if she comes in guns blazing and she's not as closely tied to them. Although
someone was saying that she's friends with Nani.
Yeah, she's friends with Jordan too.
Jordan, do you think Jordan's gonna be back? I don't think he's gonna be back.
Jordan? I think Jordan for sure. You don't think Jordan?
Oh, for 40, it is 40. Sorry, I'm just thinking next season, but 40. Okay, more likely.
I mean, Jordan's got to be there, I would think. Nani, I would think is not going to be there. So I think it'll be interesting because I know Jordan is friends with Olivia too.
Oh, so Ben here is saying that Jordan and Nurys aren't cool.
Oh, well, Jordan is good friends with Horacio, so
maybe it's the whole dating thing, making out thing. I don't know. Maybe that just went sour. Oh, Nurys says she isn't going on 40.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
Okay. Okay, so I love the Colin pretending that he was there alone, and that where he isn't sure what happened. And then when I kind of got a little bit choked up a bit when Horacio came back, and like Nurys was so happy, and then Kyland obviously was super happy, and then Olivia was also really happy, and I was like, I was just hoping that she was like, okay, like she was normal.
Well, I mean, at the time, I was not like upset with Olivia about anything. So I was like, oh, like this actually makes sense. And then like Olivia is like happy that like everything's okay now. And I thought Olivia was gonna stick true to that alliance. So I wasn't thinking anything of it. And then it was just like the second half of the episode where it's like, oh, so everything that Olivia told us was just a complete lie. Like she is basically like her and Jay are just gaslighting all the contestants, all the fans. It's like, you know that people are watching this, right? So at the time, I was like, all right, this is a nice moment, including Olivia, and just like went downhill.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like she's come around because we were wondering like, why are they cool all of a sudden? Like she was coming for him, and then I was like, but I feel like she's not. They're not friends on social media now. Like, are they just playing into, like the stages of the episodes as they're dropping? But I think that they're not friends because of this. We were wondering what could happen, and I think that this is it.
Yeah, I think Olivia is very similar to Jay, where like both of them are completely horrible when they have power. And this, honestly, like Olivia, like I don't think has ever won a daily. Like in 2 seasons, she might have won one this season, but she's very rarely had any power. And then Michele essentially gave her power this episode, and she completely butchered it. Same as like every time Jay has power in his like 4 seasons, he completely shits the bed with it. He like becomes an egomaniac. So again, like Olivia's like Jay, like just is not a person that is good when they have power. But when they are the underdog, like fans can like be blinded by it and root for them, thinking that they're.
I'm never going to be suckered into people that I know I don't like, because I knew I did not like Jay. I knew it. I know you did, but I didn't like what he did to Michaela on Survivor, and I knew it. And then he was the underdog, and like everyone's like Jay, and like like beat CT, he was with Teresa, and I was happy about that partnership. And like when Joe with what's his name, Josh was mean to him, I was on Team Jay, And then the real Jay came back, and I'm like, oh no, I knew I didn't like him. And same with Olivia. People are like, oh my God, she's the best Barbie, like beast, like she's taking over Jenna's position as like GI Barbie or whatever. And I was like, no, she was a conniving snake to Cash, and she doesn't rock with any of those people from Love Island. None of them like her. So I was like, I knew that, but people convinced me because she's with this sweet Horacio and they're doing so well. But I knew that she was a snake, and she was.
Yeah, I'm gonna be conflicted though when like next season when there's like 26 people that are all just playing the most boring game and they're all going after Jay, and it's like the power of the underdog on these shows is very strong, where it's like,
you better never convince me to like Jay again.
I never like liked Jay at all, but like if there's gonna be 26 people going after Jay, then like what am I just gonna root for Bananas, Jordan, Tori, Anissa, Nani, Casey, Fessy, Josh, Devin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? It's like,
no, we're rooting for Kyland, okay? Whoever Kyland's rooting for is who we're rooting for.
Yeah. Like I will never root for Jay to win, but like if he's just like the house pariah, then like I'm gonna be conflicted because I'm gonna want him to like get power and take a shot at one of the like people that just make the season completely boring every year. Because like at the end of the day, like I would rather like chaotic villains that I hate than just boring people that ruin seasons.
I understand that, but he also kind of ruined this season, right? He made it pretty boring and predictable. But do you think just because of the power position? So you're okay. You're not rooting for Jay. You're just rooting for somebody to break up the power structures.
Yeah, like I'm just worried that
rooting for Jay, then he is going to be like the only person that can do it or would do it.
Like my worry is just that Jay will wind up as the underdog next season just because of how he played this season. And like Kyland could very well just like hop in with the bets and be like, hey, like I like rooting for underdogs.
I like rooting for underdogs. So Jay next season keeps being targeted, then I might root for him.
I'm just gonna root for him to like win one daily and like send someone in that's like in the majority.
I just want him to go home first. Like that's great.
Yeah, but like you're gonna like, but like if Jay goes home first and then the next,
I just need him to be punished for this season. I just need it, and I'll take a boring season because this season was pretty boring up until this episode. You know, that's true, Ben. I did not like Kylan on Big Brother. I like him now, I guess, because he was the underdog. I didn't like Kylan because he was head of household reigns. He was really insufferable. Still side-eye him a little bit, but I definitely like him more than I did. I don't want him to get hurt necessarily. But people want Jay in a hall brawl. I would want him to be at least equal, or like a hall brawl against him and Asaf. that would be great. Because there's probably similar sizes and like.
Oh, I feel like Asaf is like way bigger than Jay now.
Really?
I feel like muscle wise, he seems like Asaf seems like a bigger guy. Okay. I thought at least. Even CT said when Asaf like came into the elimination, CT was like, "Oh, you're a lot bigger than last time I saw you." So I think like Asaf's got like some muscle on him for sure.
Since he has his he needs to be in a Speedo for Drag Race.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ed in his confessional before Horacio was revealed, he's like, "Oh, it's easy work, you know, get two of my biggest competitors out like right away." And I was like, Ed's giving me nothing. Ed's another person that people were so mad that I didn't pick him on the draft. And I was like, I don't like him. I don't like the type of game that he plays. Yes, would be maybe a cool guy to hang out with, but I don't want to work with him in the game. And I don't like what he brings to the game aspect of it. He doesn't have a mind of his own on how to play the game. And I just don't find that enjoyable. And now everybody's coming back to me being like, you're right. Ed sucks. Ed sucks. So what's your thoughts on Ed now, especially with him being like easy work?
I mean, my thoughts on Ed are the same as they've been every week. I think he is like completely useless. He's like the worst kind of competitor because he wins challenges and does what other people want and plays like a weak, scared game. So like he's not an underdog. He is capable of winning, but like will never do anything interesting when he wins and is just playing someone else's game. So like I never need to see Ed again. I like wonder if like maybe he will come back because he's like a casual like favorite. But yeah, he is like literally.
Why do casuals like him? Like, why are they so annoying and basic? It's infuriating. I wish we were watching Love Island All Stars right now because the people that the Fiat 500 love like are just the worst people. And you're just like, ugh, why?
Yeah. Well, Ed is like a worse version of like Tony. I actually like Tony.
Why did Zach love Ed? I mean, I don't love Zach, but like he usually likes people that will at least stir up the game.
Yeah.
Like not when he's in it, but like when he's watching, he's like, I want people that actually do stuff. Is it just because he's physically capable? I don't know. I think I cut you off though. What were you saying?
I can't remember.
About Ed being boring, probably.
Yeah, he's boring. Like, there's no need for him to come back. Oh, I was saying he reminds me of like a bad version of Tony, whereas like Tony would just do whatever like the vets would want, and he was like fully their pawn. But the difference is Tony was like chaotic as fuck, and like
Mary said the same thing. Zach brings drama, Tony brings mess.
Yeah,
Ed, yeah.
And so Tony would be super messy. Like he would hook up. He would like get drunk and like cause problems. But like when it came down to decision making, he was like mostly just doing other people's dirty work or just doing
that
whatever.
one time where he decided to like turn on bananas.
Yeah. So like I think Ed is like in that mold, but Ed is like engaged, like has like a family at home. It's like if you're gonna be boring and play other people's games, just stay home.
AK likes Ed because the way he talks makes him laugh. Okay. Like I think I wouldn't mind hanging out with Ed, maybe, but like I would not want to play the game with Ed. No. Unless I guess if he was on my side, then he'd be like a person that would win power and I just get to do whatever I want. But yeah, he sucks. Sorry, Ed. Don't come back, please. Go back to the circle, like that boring TV show, The Circle.
Yeah, go back to The Circle because I don't watch The Circle, so I won't have to see it.
Yeah, like, ugh. Okay, so we talked already about it, but Olivia was saying how Horacio gave up his spot for me and he didn't deserve me questioning him. Wah, wah, wah. Then Horacio shows up. Kyland hugs him. Nurys tells him that, what did he tell him? That Olivia was, everybody was happy that he was gone? I didn't write it down.
Yeah, everyone was happy that they thought he was gone.
Of course they did, though. Like, he knows that at least. Now Jay says that he needs to take matters into his own hands. What, like, was he going to throw himself down? Like, what do you think he meant by this?
It was like very reminiscent of last week where he said like, if it gets physical with Kyland, it gets physical. It's like, Jay, you're not going into an elimination against Horacio and Kyland. Like you would be scared shitless. So I don't know. Like, I guess like he could have been referring to like winning power, which he did do. Like, so kudos to him there. And like making sure that these guys like go back in elimination. But I personally think he was alluding to being the one to send them home, which like realistically, like if he wasn't safe here, he would never have volunteered to go against those two guys. There's no way in hell.
Never.
And if he really just wanted those guys to be gone, he could have devised a plan to send in someone that he deemed like all due respect to Nurys, and obviously she proved it later, but if you're trying to get Horacio and Kyland out, your like first inclination is not going to be to put in Nurys or Colleen, who Jay was trying to get in. It's like you probably would want to put in like Emmanuel, maybe Corey if you think it's going to be something physical, or James if you think it's going to be physical. Again, like you, and like I, like obviously it's like it's you're going against like different genders, so you have to assume it's probably not going to be purely physical, but still like Nurys and Colleen aren't the two people that come to mind.
Take them out. Yeah. Maybe also this was an out of order confessional. So I could see Ed being on a wrestler. Danielle is asking if this is true. I definitely get a wrestler vibe with him, kind of like how he even does fucking confessional. Like I could see him, hyping himself up to go against somebody. I don't know anything about wrestling. Maybe he will work with what's his name, The Miz. Yeah. Maybe The Miz can get him in there.
I hope not, but maybe.
What you don't watch wrestling?
No, but just I don't know. I'd rather like someone. I'd rather not have Ed in the WWE. Just to, like see it on my TikTok. I don't need to see him at all. Like The Miz will like pop up for me sometimes. Like
really?
Yeah, well, like when like Mark Long goes to like the WWE and like post videos. I don't need to see Ed there. I've seen enough Ed.
Yeah, I agree, Willie. When it comes to Ed, he's a nice dude, but lacks any smarts or strategy in this game. Yes, he's an engineer. He's a smart guy, but I don't really enjoy him on the challenge at all. Not at all. So Kyland, Kyland's hilarious though, because we have Berna being like, we're so sad for you, and like we're so happy that you're back now, Horacio. And Kyland's like, why are you saying that you feel sad, but then you could have just made a better decision? He just calls her out. He's like, I'm allowed to be sad right now. I'm allowed to be sad. Like, she's like, and with your brain, like, you're always thinking game. Like, you really want to talk about the game right now? And he's like, I'm just logical.
He's like, I can talk about whatever I want to talk about.
Absolutely.
They're sick of Berna. And I loved how Kylan's like, even like your friends know that you're nasty, like know that you're mean and not a nice person. And she's just like losing it, like getting in his face. And Kylan just has the biggest smirk on his face. I loved it.
She's so easy to rile up. And like I mean, it would be annoying if someone was like, you're not kind, and like smiling, and like she's just like her top's about to blow. But like, Berna, get a grip.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she get so like worked up over nothing? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened at all. So now Berna, of course, is crying to Emmanuel about obviously this situation really stirred something up in her. And then she started speaking a little bit about her mom. I didn't really understand what the problem was with her mom. Apparently she can't talk to her mom because every time she talks to her, she gets into a fight.
Yeah, that's what I gather. Like, she doesn't have like a great relationship with her mom. And because then Emmanuel was saying, like, it makes me sad that she doesn't have like a relationship with her mom because my mom is like my everything. And then like we got like his phone call. So
yeah, I was wondering if like, is Emmanuel going into the elimination because like, like having this spike in I saw your tweet.
Very random like phone call, like kind of out of nowhere because he wasn't really a part of this episode other than that. So it was weird. I was thinking like, okay, maybe he wins the daily, maybe he winds up in the elimination, or at least like will be a bigger part of something in the episode. But he was kind of invisible after that. So I mean, he's been pretty invisible most of the season, but he just had this random phone call home, which was kind of strange.
Ben.
Yeah, that was my tweet essentially. So I posted a picture of him.
Yeah, no,
and I was like, wait, who is this guy? But like seriously, he has the lowest amount of confessionals on the season, which like I know like he's like boring, like English isn't his first language, and there are a few factors like he doesn't talk game to the camera, but like man, like you got less he barely has more confessionals, or sorry, he still has less than like Melissa and Big T, who have been gone for 2 months now.
2 months? Like,
yeah. Yeah, they've been gone for legitimately 2 months, and he has less confessionals than both of them.
It's yeah, I think it's because he's not actively part of any of the decisions that are being made in the game. Like whenever he's in the room, it's like always like Berna and Colleen talking about things, but like he's never really someone that's offering anything up verbally. So I don't think they have anything to air of him, and like if he's not really part of the decision making, how he's gonna have a confessional? They have nothing to ask him.
Yes, but like, why does James have more confessionals? Like James has like 20 more confessionals than him, which just doesn't make sense to me because James' whole game is like Moriah telling him what to do, and yet he still gets like a decent amount of confessionals.
Because he's funnier, and like he probably has a better relationship with the producer that's doing the confessionals.
I wonder if Emmanuel like pissed someone off. I know he's been like controversial with like some of his like thoughts on Twitter.
This Dabu says Skype call might be given Emmanuel favorable edit as the champ.
I mean, favorable edit and Emmanuel should not be in the same sentence. So no, I don't think Emmanuel is getting a favorable edit by any means. Because if he was, like, he would not be invisible.
Yeah, that's true. Unless they're trying to do Survivor New Era style, where it's like you have no idea who the winner is going to be. It's going to be nobody that you cared about this season. Ta-da! Here is your winner.
Yeah, or it could like they could be like telling the story like Survivor, like Samoa. Like it could be the story of like how Jay lost instead of why Natalie won or why this person won.
Okay.
Like sometimes they do that. It's like the story of why people lose. So maybe it's like the downfall of Jay and Michele, and like what led to them losing.
But then couldn't that also be an Emmanuel win?
Yeah, like Emmanuel could be the Natalie White of the story, but which would be pretty funny.
Asia thinks that Emmanuel is laying low because he was messing around with everyone. That's also another thing too. Like maybe he doesn't want to talk that much because they keep on asking him about like people, and he doesn't want to say too much with his girlfriend back home. Maybe. All right, so the daily is called End of the Line. I didn't really understand how this was going to work until they actually started doing it. When they explained it, I was like, what? So basically, they just have to quickly carabiner down the furthest they can to the end of the rope, and without clipping off the rope and falling into the water, which means that they would DQ. If they did DQ, then the fastest to the water has the better time, and then everybody else, whoever gets to the bottom of the rope the fastest, right?
Yeah. They've actually done this before. They did it on Battle of the Sexes like a long time ago. Something I've like been seeing and noticing on Twitter is a lot of the challenges they've been doing are throwbacks to old seasons, which is kind of cool. Although like I would have preferred they do that for like season 40 when
maybe they're just testing out some things though.
Yeah, but I mean they're just like they're redoing a lot. Like the elimination format now, it's like a mix of a few previous seasons as well. But yeah, this challenge they did like 15 years ago or whatever. I didn't think it was like anything great, but it was fine.
It was fine. M here is saying that production really learned from Olivia almost dying last year due to awful gear. Yeah, it really looked painful after everybody's like just getting full on rope burn on their hands, insofar as the skin was peeling seemingly in chunks. It looked really gross.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh, like your gloves are not preventing that from happening. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was a great great daily. So they're also going to be playing for $15,000 from Under Armour, and they're going to be wearing their Under Armour slip speed shoes. Did the shoes help them in any way, shape, or form for the challenge?
It didn't seem like it. It's yeah, it seemed like the big dudes like still struggled, and the lighter people were able to do it a little bit better. But I think like the key was just like, and some people like screwed up here, was once like James fell, anyone that was in the majority should have just like stopped immediately.
All the way down super quickly. Just like, right?
No, they should have just stopped immediately.
Or like not try to beat him, but like just not like what Ed said. He said just, ooh, Nurys just went live. I want to record it. Damn it. Okay, let's finish this quick so we can like watch part of her live. Yeah, no, they shouldn't have bothered. They should have just gone a little bit. Or you think to make Ed just win?
No, I think Ed should have just stopped immediately, because like Ed was in like such a good position where
I mean Ed. I keep on saying Ed, and I'm thinking James. It's like that whole Hulk vibe that they both have.
Like I think Ed and Corey could have just like saved themselves by letting James get out. Like James could have just easily been purged once he fell in the first heat. But like Ed and Corey tried to win, and by trying to win, Ed ended up getting himself out, which was hilarious.
Yeah,
but Ed was like basically safe no matter what at this point.
I know. I mean, okay, well, she's still gonna be on for like 20 minutes. So let's finish this and then let's see if we can catch it.
Yeah, I don't really care to talk about the daily any longer.
Okay, so that's all I was talking about. The daily. 3 people ended up DQing. So it was it Corey, James, and Ed, correct?
Yeah.
DQ'd. But in the end, the winner of this challenge was, the loser was Ed. So Ed sucked the most, which I was very happy. I said, "Yay, happy face." Who went the furthest, the fastest was going to be Jay versus Horacio, separated by seconds. We obviously got like the ego post of Jay being like, "Oh, like I rappel at night, and like the first time I ever rappelled was like on the side of a mountain at nighttime, and I used my flashlight to like see like what it was doing. And I was like, you're so cool, Jay. Great. Like, you're probably going to win this. And he does. So the winner of this challenge was Jay, of course. Lame, I thought. And I was like, man, like, we're so close to having something stirred up. Horacio and Kyland. Okay, so it won't be that much spilling tea then, I think. You know? Anyways, we'll get to it shortly. So Olivia says that she's instantly in survival mode now because, like, you know, she was kind of on the bottom and then she was choosing to work with Nurys and Horacio and Kyland and was kind of going against Jay a little bit. And so now basically she needs to go and kiss butt of Jay's. Jay, though, has to choose between Michele and Emmanuel as his two, like, best friends. Since when is Emmanuel and James so tight? Or Jay so tight?
Well, Jay wouldn't switch his vote a couple weeks ago because he wanted to protect Emmanuel so much. But I don't know where it started from. But obviously, Jay is like very much protecting Emmanuel. So again, like something with Emmanuel that we're just not seeing on the edit for whatever reason.
So Colleen thinks that in the safety chain that Berna will save her. But I actually think that Berna would save Michele if that's how the order went down. If Michele was still available between Michele and Colleen, I think that Berna would save Michele.
Oh, I think so for sure. Yeah.
Like, I wanted that to happen just so like Colleen can like know her place. Horacio wants to, of course, protect Nurys and Olivia and Kyland, but he's kind of frustrated that he just came a little bit short. But it's also, though, I would say the fact that Horacio has been going first all this time, like, which is a very big disadvantage for this one, right? Because he's going to be pretty as conservative as he can be because he doesn't have anybody to try to do better than, right?
Yeah.
So if Jay had gone first, I think Horacio would have beat him because he would have known how much he needed to go. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like this was like built for Jay though. Just because Jay has
well,
all
the
that
last one,
experience.
anyways. The paddleboarding one, everybody got to see like how to do it well.
Yeah, that one I think Horacio could have won for sure. But yeah, it just sucks that like Horacio's coming so close and it would like we don't know how things would unfold if the other side got power. And
Nurys said the comp was rigged for Jay. Wait, should we just watch it live together? Want to just watch it a little bit? What do you think? Could watch a little bit if let's see.
Little bees. I honestly, watching it back is still so surreal. I cannot believe I did all that. I cannot believe that was a thing. I don't know. I'm super proud. Like, also, I do want to say because I tweeted about Moriah. And I want to clear the air and say that I really don't want you guys to attack her because me and her are actually friends. And I tweeted today out of anger. Me and her been apologized to each other. Me and her have been got over everything, squashed everything. We left the season as amazing friends and everything. And I don't want you guys to take my comments of what I said about her to heart because this is just me and her being friends and having a little scuffle. But I love that girl. Now, Olivia, on the other hand, a lot of people are asking me if me and her made up. I've seen a bunch of people saying that me and her are cool again, and that is not the case. Actually, that is not the case. Watching this back pissed me off even more.
Yeah.
Honestly, and hearing my family be upset, hearing my family be upset bothers me. Hearing like it's just so disappointing. And also, for all of you guys that try to say that Aneesa was a liar, Aneesa was not a liar. Aneesa was right. Aneesa was being a good friend by telling my brother exactly what she heard prior to the season. A lot of you guys had questions as to how Aneesa knew that Olivia was talking shit about me. Aneesa knew that Olivia was talking shit about me because Aneesa and Olivia were friends prior to 39. So when Aneesa told my brother hey, Olivia's been talking shit. It wasn't about Olivia talking shit about me during the season. It was about Olivia talking shit about me prior to the season. About Olivia telling Anissa that she didn't consider me a friend and that she was gonna screw me over whatever chance she got. And it was proven in tonight's episode. So I'm gonna need you guys to take all the shit that you guys said about Anissa back, because it was never Anissa that said anything. Like, at least Anissa never lied, you know? Nelson said the truth came to light. I know that's right, ride or die. I know that's right. And look at you. You dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet.
Oh,
I guess we both did. Like, yeah. Can you tell us what she said about Kyland? No, honestly, I'm gonna spare her with that one. Because that's just, it was nasty. It was nasty what she said, and it bothered me specifically because she would have never said that shit in front of me. She knew who the fuck she was saying shit to, and she knew better than to say it to me. I will say though, it's nothing racist, so please don't go at her saying that, because it's not that deep. But it was deep. It was definitely deep. Nelson would never do that to you. Nelson would never, because Nelson knows the definition of being a true ride or die. You know what I mean? Like, Nelson knows how to play with integrity too. Nelson's also been screwed over by his friends. So why were you going to leave? Honestly, I was fed up. I really did want to quit. I'm not gonna lie. And it's so disappointing to see it back and see that I did want to quit, because I know that I'm so much better than that. But I was so defeated literally in the moment. You guys have to understand, Olivia and Jay were my only two real friends going into the house. And also I did consider Moriah to be a real friend as well. So going into the house and having the two people that were supposed to have your back undoubtedly not have your back and be the fakest ones to you broke me down in a lot of different ways. And it still hurts to this day. I'm not going to lie. It does suck. It sucks when you truly believe that someone is a real friend and they're not. Like, they're truly not. They said Anissa's in here. Hold on. Let me see. I got to go back to the comments. Oh, Ravyn's in here too. Nelson said, amen. I love you, Nelson. He said Anissa's in here too, but I don't think she commented. I don't think, right? I don't see her saying anything. Are we friends with Michele still? Yeah, I still like Michele. You guys also can see, like, Michele did go for bat for me. There was only so much she could do because she was protecting so many people, but she definitely went to. Was I being summoned? Were you being summoned? Were you want to be on my live? Want to talk shit? Didi wants to talk shit at my live too. So.
Hey, we're talking the truth. Now, let me go ahead and say what I need to go ahead and say. A real best friend would never. That's one. I'm also on my third glass of wine, so keep it at that. A real best friend would never. I've been told Nurys that Olivia was fake since the minute she told me. She came home from last challenge and was like, "Oh, I just met a new best friend, Olivia." And I looked at her and said, "I don't trust her." But I'm gonna let you go ahead.
She really did say that.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and be friends with her, so that's cool. The way that she played her this
Deandra,
season,
her roommate.
the way that she did that, let me fucking throw my chantele at her.
Fighting
That's
on
one.
X
Two, my best friend did an amazing job.
They got over it.
I'm so sorry, Horacio and Kyland, you guys are back there, and I'm so sorry. But like, guys, this is your champ. Like, this is literally your fucking champ, and y'all fuck with her, y'all gonna fuck with me. That's all I had to say. Also Kyland's mom's here.
Okay, hold on. Ravyn. Hi, Ravyn. Hi, babes. You're a badass and deserve all the goodness. Thank you. I am, like I always say, I am grateful to have met real friends this season and got shown who my fake ones were. And I can genuinely say that Ravyn is an amazing friend. So thank you.
Does she look more rich today? Like, did she win?
Did you enjoy Colleen's comment about Olivia? Oh my God. Who needs enemies when you have friends like Olivia? It was spot on. It was spot on. Spot the fuck on. Didi, you're true ride or die. She really is. That's my bitch. Let me see.
I mean,
I think I'm reading these too slow. Let me go say hi to Kyland's mom. I'm also a little lit. Hold on. Didi funny. Didi's hilarious. And of course, Mom, you continue to inspire us. Oh, I love you. Wait, I gotta show you guys Kyland's mom because she is the cutest. We gotta show you his mom. Hi, Look, I'm on live. Look at her shirt.
Oh.
Wait. You gotta see the back. This is Kylan's mom.
Aw.
Isn't she the cutest? This is Instagram live. This is live. This is just live. Hi.
I'm Bill.
Oh, nice to meet you, Nurys. This is Horacio's brother. Nice to meet you. Which I'm gonna need y'all to chill because he's mine. Okay? Because y'all like him a little too much. He's mine. Isn't she so cute? Oh my God, isn't she? Can you guys tell him how good he did? I think he needs the praises.
No, I don't.
He needs
Please
the
don't.
praises.
Thank you, everybody. Even know.
Why? They said, damn, the brother. That they put the hard eyes under for you. Mom and Dad, you guys are great together. Thank you. You don't want to be on live with me?
Podrick.
They said he did amazing. He's amazing. Yeah. Look
Oh
at
my
it.
God.
I'm with my boys, guys. The star. My boys.
I hear that's the best episode of the season.
I heard it is.
I feel like that was the climax.
I also spilled a lot of tea.
Wait, what did you say?
I talked about Jay not actually being the winner.
Oh.
And everyone said that they noticed it too.
Hey. But also, I mean,
The footage is out there.
to be clear, he was fast.
He
He
was.
just wasn't furthest. But he's fast. He was fast. I mean, the 6-7 year rock climber, like, he is good. He's good at a lot of stuff. But it's just.
But called check with broken his hand.
I'm just too nice. I can't stop myself.
I don't know. I don't care. I've drank a lot of wine, and at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm annoyed because, like I said, no matter what, if it came down to who had the least amount of rope, it was these two. Him and him. It was not Jay, so. El Trio. Kinda?
No, the one that says, "Did you fuck with Kyland on the challenge?" I'm like, kinda.
Kinda, just a little bit. Where does Horacio stand with Olivia? They said. That's his answer. He's up. but this one's still friends with her. This one. And mind you, he knows what she said about him. So, Kylan's just Kylan's more forgiving than I am, and I thought I was very forgiving.
He's very forgiving.
I'm actually very forgiving, and
Okay,
he's
here's
more
what I will
forgiving.
say. No, you are. I am more forgiving than most people, though. But then you are also. But then you just are feel stuff. You feel stuff as it happens, and like to be clear, like I saw Olivia the other day. If it was after this episode, it would have been harder to see it. So I feel like that's the thing. When you watch the show, you start to feel everything back. Hello?
Where are you at now? At a party? No, we're at Kylan's watching the episode together. His family's here. He has some friends. That's it. It's because Latinas hold grudges forever. I actually really don't. That's the funny thing about it. Is like I'm a very forgiving person when people deserve to be forgiven. So that's how they said Horacio would have won last season if it wasn't for Olivia's fault. Kylan, leave Olivia alone. Drop her. It's who she is, they said. And they said, I feel another rival season coming. Listen, if it's speculated in any way, shape, or form that it's a rival season, I will not be on there. Because I will not be attached to her or Jay. I refuse. And if I, on accident, happen to be there and get caught off guard, I'm going to throw that shit because I will never give a win to either one of them. Because remember, I really don't. I mean, I'm going to stay quiet. Let me stay quiet. They said, did Horacio and Olivia know each other before Ryder dies? He's so funny. I'm making him messy. Aww, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna stop bothering you.
doing your thing. Keep doing your thing.
Keep doing my thing. It's like Kyland, block her. Horacio, unfollow Olivia.
Okay, do you think she's gonna spill any
Because
more
Olivia
tea?
probably broke her
Let's
nose on
finish
purpose.
this
Okay, so
recap.
she didn't do that. But I did see
Yeah, probably not.
said
It'll be on Reddit.
admit her dumb. I'm like, maybe it did.
It's gonna be on Reddit.
Yeah, that's why I'll go to Reddit and Twitter.
I mean, that was pretty good time though. Well lasted. If anything else is fun, just let me know and I can pull it back up, guys. And let's just finish going through this episode so we can watch Nurys freely. Where were we at though? Oh yeah, I was thinking that Jay telling welcome to our office. Sorry, where Olivia is welcoming Jay to come in so she can kind of pitch for them to be saved. So it's Olivia, Nurys, and then Jay coming in. Jay saying that he wants but he does tell Michele that he wants to save Emmanuel, and Michele is pissed off. Like, I don't know why Michele is so, like, she just needs to stick with Jay. Like, I know that's the ride or die thing. Sorry, I get that. But, like, he keeps on showing that you're not somebody that he cares that much about. It's like, I don't know. I just wish that she would do something sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's like his way or the highway. And I don't know. I wonder if, like, it was his decision to ultimately like save Olivia, or if Michele did decide to do that. I imagine they agreed on it together. But it did seem like Jay wanted initially her to save Emmanuel. So obviously, like, I don't know, there must have been some sort of negotiation. Obviously, like we saw through the flashbacks, Olivia was in on the plan anyways. So ultimately, Jay did get his way for the most part, but I do wonder if Michele maybe did say like, "Hey, like I have to save Olivia here. Like I can't do exactly what you want," because it didn't seem like Jay wanted Olivia to be the one saved.
No, he doesn't care about Olivia at all. Like obviously by extension from Michele, but like he definitely has a close relationship with Nurys. And Michele at this point is saying that she wants to save both Nurys and Olivia. Now, what happened to the Fabulous Four? I know that that Asaf is gone. Like there's still 3 of them left. Like all of a sudden Olivia has gone up in the ranks with Michele, and Nurys is like lower than Olivia.
Yeah, well, I don't know why she's lower than Olivia. Well, I don't. It was weird because like he was upset. Jay was upset with Nurys and Olivia, but then they were saying like, "Oh, Olivia has the best chance to beat Horacio and Kyland." But then, like all of a sudden, like Olivia was the one that was safe. So yeah, it really didn't make sense because Nurys, you would assume, is in a better position strategically. Maybe they just knew that there's no way Nurys would not save Kyland and Horacio. And whereas like they were confident Olivia would do what they wanted. So maybe that's why Olivia kind of replaced her there.
So at this point, I was thinking and hoping that Colleen would end up in there because I thought that just the way that things would hit out, it would be the 2 boys and then Colleen would be at the bottom of that chain. I didn't go through how I thought that was going to happen. So like, it might not even been possible, but I was thinking that Colleen was going in at that point. Like that Berna would have, like maybe they would start it with Emmanuel and then that Berna didn't save Colleen, would save Michele, and then she'd end up at the bottom with Horacio and whatever, you know, that's what I was thinking would happen. But we get to the club zone next. And Moriah tells Nurys that Jay wants Horacio in, and it seems like Jay said to Nurys that like he was gonna maybe try to keep Horacio in there. Like I wasn't really sure about like what was promised because Jay promises a lot and lies a lot, and so it's really hard to keep track of like what he said when, you know. Jay and Berna have a conversation and she has like a perfect order. Like, why is she piping in now? You know, like perfect order, like she actually has any power. And then Michele arrives and Berna wants to explain her order because she wants to try to save Colleen from being at the bottom of the list. And then Michele leaves and Berna's like, why is Michele so angry? Why is she so angry? And it's like, Because she's in a predicament. She hates you and she has to like listen to you. And then she has all these other friends that she's gonna have to break a promise to one of them.
Yeah, it was tough for Michele because Michele like wouldn't tell Berna that she wanted Colleen to be the one because she obviously knew Berna would flip out, and Michele doesn't want to ruin her game. So I was thinking about it, and it's like, well, if Michele did in fact like arrange for Colleen to be the vote, Berna is still going to be super pissed because Berna is going to realize Michele was behind it. So it did seem like by the end, like they decided on Corey to potentially. They wanted Corey to save Nurys, right? That's what they were claiming, and then Colleen would therefore go in, or was it that they wanted Corey to be the?
I think they wanted just to save Colleen.
But no, when Jay was like freaking out, Jay was saying like my plan was for Corey to save
Horacio and Colleen and probably Kyland.
Yeah, they wanted Corey to save Colleen. Yeah, sorry, they wanted Corey to save Nurys and then send Colleen in.
Something like that. Yes. So Debu, I'm questioning why Michele is allowing Jay to treat her like garbage, and not actually treat her like number one, say that she's gonna throw her in, those actions that I don't think that is the Olivia has only been screwing over Horacio, their ride or dies, you know what I mean? And so I don't think it's exactly the same. Yes, maybe breaking loyalty with your ride or die, but I think the way that Jay has been treating Michele, I wouldn't be able, if it was my ride or die, we'd be having a few more conversations. I'd be like, I'm not working with you here if you're going to be treating me like this or my friends like this, or you know what I mean? I would stand up to Jay and I would make it clear if I was going to be going against him. I wouldn't be saying one thing to his face and then backstabbing him. That's what I'm talking. But basically what I'm saying here.
I do think Michele did stand up to Jay, not this week, last week, or the last week's episode. She did tell Jay to calm his shit. I think part of Michele is honestly scared because Jay is so emotional with his decisions, where if Michele were to confront him, Jay very well could have just saved Emmanuel and put Michele in a worse position, where then Michele has to make a bigger decision or screw someone over more directly. So I think part of Michele is Jay is just a loose cannon, and even me, his ride or die, could take the brunt of it if I don't offer him a shoulder to cry on, and if I do stand up to him.
Yeah.
But I agree, this Michele definitely should not work against Jay.
Not against, but I would definitely be hey, no, we're doing I would just have him under a little bit better control, especially because he was an extension of me. It's so I just don't like the way he treats her and the fact that she just lets him get away with it because they're ride or dies. It's just it just kind of grosses me out. I feel like he's not good to her. Eunice here is saying, Jay telling Michele that she knows is responsible for the course of this game is incredibly manipulative. He wants to watch his hands of the blowback. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's been doing, right? He's been it's not my fault. I'm only one vote. I only start the chain off. You guys, all the rest is up to you. But then he also expects you to do certain things, and I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Jay, and I can't imagine. Is Michele still ride or dies with him after the season? Are they still besties?
I would think that Michele would still try to protect him as much as she could
in a future season.
Yeah, I think so. I think she would try to. I don't know. I don't think it would be successful.
Can't have that duo anymore.
Yeah,
I'm over it. I'm over it. So Michele and Jay do chat again, and this is where he's strong arming her. And Jay thinks that Olivia is the one that needs to go in at that point. I guess if it's between Nurys and Olivia, she wants Olivia to go in. But obviously Michele is not going to be happy with that because Olivia is her best friend all of a sudden. So Michele is going to be the decision maker here, between basically Berna, Colleen, and Corey. And so that's what I thought was going to end up happening, right? And I was like, okay, wow, like great. Like Colleen's going in then against the two guys, and maybe both the guys will come back and Colleen will go home. That's what I was kind of hoping at this point. But then Jay is also doing a little bit more patronizing of Michele with his lists and all the lists and the iterations that he would prefer to have happen. And then Moriah kind of throws in that she doesn't want Jay to be put in a shitty position. And so like now Jay like is being protected more than Nurys and at this point Olivia. What do you think about how Moriah has all of a sudden more pull in this alliance? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, but it happened because Nurys and Olivia turned against Jay. They didn't actually, but like in his mind, they did. So I think Moriah just like naturally like got bumped up a spot. And I honestly, I think Jay and like some others are just scared of Kyland and Horacio. And it's like anyone that's willing to entertain working with them is like moving down in the alliance. And he just wants them out at all costs. So I think the fact that Moriah is willing to like play ball and she only cares about protecting James. So
well, you know what though, like Michele should be like grateful though. Like James is someone that likely she can beat in a final. So like she should just like, I don't know, figure out something else. Like get rid of Corey. Like is she that close to Corey?
I think Michele is.
Yeah,
I
Michele.
think, yeah.
I
think Michele is close to Corey. Yeah.
Like, but what? Like, just because they were on that one season together and they went out together, I think, right? They were partnered. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, are you that close? Are you that close with Olivia? Like, why does she have so many best friends? I guess it's her because it's her social game, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating to watch Michele play because like she's always in the position where she's made too many promises to too many people, and she never makes decisions that I want her to make because of and with all the promises that she has.
Yeah.
Never, ever. Okay, so Olivia, Michele, and Nurys do have a conversation, and Nurys is kind of upset. She's throwing in the towel. She's supposed to be working with Michele and Jay since the beginning. Olivia is her ride or die, or her best friend from before the game. Like she just doesn't know what to do here because like, you know, all the situations suck. And so she's packing her bag. She kind of wants to go. How do you feel about her throwing in the towel?
I didn't buy it for sure. Like, I bought that she was like feeling that way, but
I would be annoyed if James and Moriah were ahead of me, like as Nurys.
Yeah. Well, it just like sucks. Like when you feel like on the bottom and like you're kind of hopeless because it's like everyone against your people and your people are like you're about to lose your people or at least one of your people. So it's got to be like a shitty feeling. Like obviously I didn't think she was actually going to leave the game, but yeah, it sucks that like she felt like her game was kind of like coming crashing down.
And like she can't really do anything about it. That's why the safety chain is just kind of like, I mean, obviously it's cause for some drama this episode. Like the order of this is, it was interesting, and like I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and what happened was never what I thought was going to happen. So I guess it was successful in that way, but like it just favors the major alliance so much that it's just disheartening to watch. And like I'm just wondering if it's true that they rigged it for Jay to win. If that is true, why would they just want Jay to win the season? Like why is that the outcome that they prefer?
I don't think that they rigged it. To me, that would be like incredibly shocking considering I think everyone in the world likes Horacio more than Jay. So if they were going to rig it, I would imagine they would rig it for Horacio. So I feel like it wasn't rigged. For the most part, I don't really buy rigging in the game. Just because like
or making an honest mistake and not realizing that the rules are fastest as well as furthest down.
Yeah, maybe they made a mistake, but like when it's like a time challenge, like if they wanted to
It was
rig
time,
it.
but it was also distance.
Yeah, but they said that like it was separated by seconds, right?
But they're saying them as if they went to the exact same mark on their rope, right? And
Yeah.
what they're claiming is that both Horacio and Kyland had less rope left, so they went down further. So if they had stopped shorter, then maybe they would have been more competitive. Or if Jay went down further, he also would have been a little bit slower. So the point is that they went further, Jay went less far faster.
Yeah, but TJ, when he announced the winner, was like, "This, like, you guys were separated by seconds."
Well, that's making them say that they went to the exact same mark, but
Exactly. Yeah.
they're saying that they didn't go to the same mark.
Yeah. Yeah. So they could have made a mistake where like maybe Jay didn't go to the same mark, and like yeah, it could have been just like an error by
If
production.
it was just a little bit more risen, then obviously he's going to be faster than going a little bit further, even if it's just 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, I just don't like how does how would like Nurys, and like again, like all due respect to Nurys, but like how would she know that? But
It would be for the amount of rope that was left would be the indicator.
yeah, but how would Nurys know that just from watching from the sidelines? But production wouldn't know when they have the video footage. It seems kind of off, right? Like I would trust like the 100 cameras that can zoom in over like one person who clearly like wants the other side to win. And like if
both of them to have been longer, and that's why I also don't appreciate these like separate heats. You know what I mean? Because like I want to see them all same position. Let me see them side by side.
Yeah, I just don't buy the rigging. Like if they were gonna rig it, I think they would have rigged it for the person that they like more. Like if they purposely rigged something.
She said she told us to watch it back. Okay, I'll go take a picture.
Yeah, like it's possible. Like I guess it's possible that they like missed something or there was like a loophole. I just don't think like production decided like, hey, we want Jay to win, so we're gonna like give him this win here and let Horacio get out when like production obviously likes Horacio more.
I mean, maybe they think this is more like dramatic.
Yeah, the difference, like with Tori, like the casuals love Tori, and like the casuals love Horacio. I bet you the casuals hate Jay like more than anything. Like I feel like everyone is in agreement that like Jay is just like insufferable. So I
don't. I mean, I don't. If it wasn't true, then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, Nurys will get a call back.
I don't think that this would stop her from being like, it would just make them be on their P's and Q's a little bit more if like to be like, how many times have we heard people be like, oh, it was rigged or whatever? Like we hear it all the time. Yeah. Like even didn't we hear that Jenny West won and then they changed it to make it a male and female winner when Bananas came second? Didn't we hear that?
Yeah. The thing is like people will always say things are rigged.
I agree.
When their favorites lose. It's just like, I think it's like natural for like any show.
Angel, I'm sure Drew is already on it. So like we'll get him I'll tell him to do a frame by frame and see if we can figure it out.
Yeah. Like I just think there's a difference between like a mistake. Yeah. Like there's a difference between like production making a mistake with the rules and like purposely giving someone the win. And like we've seen how much TJ loves Horacio and Kyland. So I just think like if they like got together and like huddled up and they're like, oh, all right, like let's make the show better by rigging it, they would do that for Horacio and the underdogs over Jay.
I would hope so. Yes, Nurys did say that she would not go back on the challenge if Olivia and Jay were on it. And if she goes on and she was surprised, she would not help them win. Brutal. I mean, I wouldn't either. Not with how they treated her at all. So as we know with the safety chain, Jay starts it off and picks Michele. So he didn't actually go the Emmanuel route. And Michele picks Olivia. And I was like, oh my God, Michelle's going against Jay here. I was like, I cannot believe that. Whoa. Like I was definitely shook. And then Olivia says, Moriah, and I was like, I turned my head spun around like Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Like I was so angry. And then obviously we see the flashback now of Olivia making the deal with Jay was there because he's pretending like he didn't know what was going to happen. But Jay was there when that deal was made. Michele, Moriah, and Olivia saying, I promise on everything that I will do this. If you pick me, I will pick James. And she does. She picks Moriah, and then Moriah picks James. And so I was like, Olivia, you're dead to me. There's no redeeming this. No, I can't. I'm done with her. So yeah, so when Olivia, Moriah, James, Emmanuel, Berna, Colleen, and Corey. And like, aren't they just so proud that they still get their chain? And like, Colleen was worried that she might go in, and now she doesn't have to worry. She can pick Corey, and their whole alliance is safe, even though they saved Olivia. It's like, yeah, lots of snakes in that house. Yeah, pissed when Olivia said Moriah because she had the opportunity to save Nurys, but didn't. Yeah, exactly. Like she chose not to save Nurys. She did. She made the deal. She says, if you guys save me, I will not save Nurys. Or Horacio in that case as well. Brutal. So then Nurys starts popping up to Berna, and I was like, this is why she's going to be back all the time, because she's willing to, her mouth, like she's so mouthy. Were you excited when she was just like, I'm already going in, I'm going to come over there and pop you?
Yeah, I was excited about that. It was hard to be excited because I was like so rattled that like
I mean,
we were going to
excited
lose one of them.
just like seeing her mad, you know?
Yeah, it was like nice to see it was nice to see a pop off there. So yeah, I was definitely like excited about that. I was up in my seat. So that was definitely an exciting moment. And then it just like went back to being like super depressing. It's like, oh damn, like the reality has sunk in. Like Olivia really screwed them. And yeah, now like this alliance is just done. Like I thought we were gonna lose one of them. Like we find out we're gonna lose two of them. And it's just like not a great feeling to know that this alliance is literally down to just Nurys now. So the rootable alliance has one person left.
Brutal. Before we get to the elimination, Kyland rips off his other shirt. He's like, staying ready, which I thought was funny because he knew that he was going to be going in for sure. And then I was like, oh, Horacio was crying because like he feels like it's his fault that he told Nurys to trust Olivia, and you know she couldn't be trusted, and now she's going in, and like chances are they're going to be broken up here between like all three of them. And then Jade comes in to try to comfort Nurys, and she doesn't want to talk to him, and he's like going out like crying. It's like, you knew what was going to happen, Jay. Like, stop pretending. Like, it may not have been what your first choice is, but you definitely co-signed it. Olivia and Nurys do end up talking. I was surprised that Nurys sat down with her, and she tells her a little bit about like, you know what, my brother said that and that you know you said this about me, and I didn't want to believe it. I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and then you proved them right. And like I was like, I'm happy that she didn't say anything at the time, because Olivia would have, you know, she would have pretended like she wasn't a snake, you know what I mean? And now her true colors are showed. But she was saying like she was waiting for me to fail her. What did you think about her saying that line? Because like, I'm not sure what I feel about it.
Well, I think Nurys tweeted like, no, I wasn't waiting for her to fail me. I was waiting for her to like prove me wrong. And she didn't do that. Like she proved that like she was what everyone was telling me. So yeah, I guess like, I don't know. Like I feel like Olivia, it was like sinking in with her. Like, hey, like I am the villain, but like, I need to deflect. I need to like make it seem like, oh, like I am like not that bad here. It's just like everyone expects the worst out of me. So like now like it makes sense. Like she's trying to put the blame on this like faltering relationship on others in a way. But yeah, I think deep down it's just her trying to like not be the villain. And honestly, like I would appreciate it a little bit more if she just embraced the villainy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like just straight up say like, you know what, like this one is about me. Like I went through hell last season and I'm sorry, but if this is gonna get me to the end, like Horacio, Kyland, like you gotta go. Like I would still be mad, but at least then it's like,
But like
damn,
tell
that's like a
them or
badass
something.
move.
Just be like, listen, it's every man for themselves at this point. Like, I'm gonna do my best to keep us all together. But if it doesn't happen, I'm saving myself. And they'll be like, oh, she's so like selfish, whatever. But at least they knew in advance that she wasn't going to be protecting them. They're only going to be protecting herself. And then it would have stung a little bit less. But the fact that she was just like pretending like she was with them 100% and then like completely stabbed in the back, it wasn't cool at all, especially since we were all like, don't trust her, Nurys, don't trust her. Yeah, annoying playing this victim. Yeah, I think Jay's also kind of irritated because he wasn't a fan of Olivia, and like he does like Nurys more than Olivia, actually, even though he was kind of shitty to her last episode and the episodes before. Like, I definitely I think he would prefer to have Nurys in the game over Olivia. Yeah. Anyone who watched Olivia during and post Love Island would not be surprised with this move. I am not. TJ did not look pleased. Because TJ's still like a loyalty guy to a certain extent. Like he likes honest winners. He doesn't want quitters and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't think he's gonna like that. Anyways, so basically the elimination is going to be pretty similar to before with just different puzzles in the middle. So there's going to be a race portion, 3 checkpoints where they have to bring the flags back to. First one back is going to win and go back. We learned that there's going to be 2 people going home and only 1 returning to the game. And we see Kyland and Horacio get stumped at the first tangram. And it wasn't even that hard, that one. I was just like, I felt like they had it so many times. They just had to like flip one thing the other way. Like I don't know why they couldn't see it. It was frustrating to watch. But Nurys went to another puzzle first. They had to count the chains and make all the chains 39, I think it was. I didn't really understand how that one actually worked, but she seemed to get that pretty quickly. Then she went to the tangrams where the guys were still at, but at this time I think Horacio just left and he went and he's like, I'm gonna come back to that one and finish all the other checkpoints first and then just finish on the tangram. And so he ends up catching up to Nurys sort of by doing the third puzzle, which is like stacking 9 tiles, making 3 piles of 3 on a teeter-totter, and you had to just like lift the teeter-totter with them balanced to a certain level. Nurys was having a lot of trouble with this. Horacio didn't seem to have any trouble with this. He goes back to the tangram. Kylan was still there. And finally, Nurys, she calms down. She figures out the proper place to put this on that it will balance. She's able to lift it up. And Nurys actually runs the finish line. TJ was like so pumped that she was doing it, and like even when she threw like her flag and she's crawling under the mud and like the guys were nowhere near her, and he's like you guys are still in it, you just have to finish and just get here, and like they weren't close to finishing, and Nurys took out those 2 guys. And I have to agree, she says it, no one else deserved to beat them. And even Kylan said the only person that I'd want to lose against is either Nurys or Horacio. So it was a bittersweet ending. I was really happy that Nurys got that win because everybody was expecting her to go home. But I'm annoyed that we don't have somebody that will likely win the next daily. Like, I don't know if Nurys is going to win the daily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just worried for her having to fight so hard.
Yeah, I definitely think like odds are Nurys just winds up right back in elimination next week. And
unless Jay feels bad and like, well, from like how she's acting on the scenes from next episode, it doesn't seem like anybody's happy with her right now. But
yeah, I would assume she ends up back there. I'm just curious to see like who winds up with her. Like, is it like, are they now gonna cut like Colleen and Berna, or because there is that like faction of Colleen, Berna, Corey, Emmanuel, are they going to be safe? And it's going to be like Moriah and James potentially at the bottom. I'm intrigued to see. Like Nurys is on her own, so I think it's going to be. I guess it depends who wins the daily. Like if Emmanuel, Colleen, Berna, or Corey win the daily, then the 4 of them are going to be safe. If Jay wins the daily, then
maybe he'll be pissed at Michele and he'll just choose Nurys first.
Yeah, then there also is the purge, so we don't know who's going to get purged. That will play a huge part as well. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, but like with the least interesting people left in the game.
Yeah,
like, I'm just like majority of people I don't care to be here.
Well, the nice thing is, like, as long as it's not Nurys that gets purged, like someone is going to be purged from the majority before we even get to the vote. So at least, like, let's hope Nurys doesn't lose the daily, but we could potentially lose 3 people from the 2 or 3 people from the majority. I hope Nurys wins.
And Nurys also has done this elimination already now, so she knows what to expect. And so I think just like the element of familiarity will be helpful to her. And she's good at puzzles.
Yeah, like I could see, like, if Nurys is in there against James and Moriah, like I would presume Nurys would win that.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Or if it's like Nurys, Colleen, and Berna, like Nurys would probably win that.
Berna's not good at puzzles. Colleen might be though.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't really see a scenario where Jay and Michele wind up in elimination.
No, I think they're going to the final.
Yeah, so really, it's like
unless Michele gets purged. No, I don't want Michele to be purged. I want Berna gone. I want Colleen gone. I want Corey's. He's not doing anything, so it's fine. But Colleen and Berna, if we're looking for the women, I'd want them to be gone first. I'd say. I know it won't really switch up the order that much, but if Berna's gone, it will allow Michele not to feel like she needs to save her. Like,
yeah,
so we can have like a free spot in Michele's friendship. Mary says in Squid Game, the girls used the chain to keep each other safe and eliminated half the guys. Yes, I remember that. It was good, but I don't think that will happen here. It should.
Yeah, I can't. It's tough because Moriah's going to save James no matter what, and Michele is going to save Jay no matter what. Unless one of them wins, but yeah, it's not going to help.
Yeah, familiarity didn't help the 2 boys for sure, but Nurys is good at puzzles, and the puzzle was the equalizer here. You saw at the beginning when Nurys was going over those blocks, like she was taking a quarter or like 3 times as long as the guys were to get over one block, and so it's the puzzles, and Nurys is good at puzzles, so.
Yeah, like the person I would be most scared of for Nurys would be Michele, but again, like I don't see any scenario Michele winds up in the bottom 3.
Yeah, agreed. Who's our MVP? I guess it has to be Nurys, right?
Yeah, it's Nurys for sure.
It's like no doubt about no do to boot it. All right, that's everything from this episode. Anything final thoughts, last words?
Nope, that's all. It's a sad conclusion, sad. But I think we'll see definitely Horacio and Kyland back very soon.
Eunice says 3 groups left: the manipulators, the floaters, and Nurys. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys for being here in the chat with us live. Thanks for indulging in us listening to Nurys's IG live. Matthew, do you have anything going on you want to share with the people?
Nope, nothing.
Tweets?
Nothing going on. Just 2 more episodes of the challenge, I guess. And
2 or is it 3?
3. 2-part reunion. 2-part finale. So we have like 5 weeks left, including the reunion, but 3 like proper episodes.
And when does All Stars 4 start? It's in March?
I guess I
thought a date was out. Okay, never mind.
6 weeks. If it starts 1 week later, we haven't got a preview yet, so I don't know. Maybe end of March, maybe 6-7 weeks.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for being here, Matthew. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let us know who you think is going to be going home. Well, no spoilers, but who do you think is going to be going home next week? Do you think Nurys is going to be able to make it through? Do you think Jay is going to end up saving his girl? Because it would be a little bit on the nose if in the trailer for the next episode, like, you know, Jay storming off, it's actually him turning his back completely on Nurys. So, right, that's too on the nose. So I'm hoping that that's for something else and that he ends up saving her to say F you to Michele or something.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
That's not happening, but
we can wish, right? Well, anyways, let us know what you think is going to happen. Only speculation, please. No actual spoilers, and we'll talk about it next week, maybe on Monday a little bit. Who do we know who's on next week for Home Turf?
Yeah, Cara Maria will be
Cara
on Monday.
Maria. So we will be back together for Home Turf to talk about Miss Cara Maria. Thanks, everybody.